back to the program. The lawmakers in the House of Representatives want the federal government to bail out collapsing companies and industries in the country. Now, this formed part of the resolution of the House, which was contained in a motion by Honourable James Faleke, who said there is an urgent need to bail out ailing industries. The lawmakers are of the opinion that the bailout will boost employment. Well, following the growing consensus on the need to revamp Nigeria's economy and the cry out for bailout for the local industries, a guest joins us from Abuja, Dr. Emeka Okengu. He's an economist and also a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. First, the House of Representatives want bailout for ailing industries. Isn't this another hurdle for the federal government and also the state governments?
No, it's not. I mean, okay, why don't you just probably look at it as capital injection? Okay, don't call it bailout, call it capital injection. And then if you're talking about capital injection, then it simply means that there might be some, audits, some technical, some human capacity, some, needs audit. So if you are giving people money for them to go back into productivity, there's nothing wrong with it because it simply means that they will be able to pay back what it is you're giving to them. But if you're saying you want to dish out cash based on the fact that you see a company's door locked and then you say, okay, fine, how much do you need to get back into production? So what I'm trying to say is that it's a good idea, but it has to be thought through. There has to be a proper framework that identifies what needs, because you might be surprised that it might just not only be physical, capital, physical cash that they might be requiring. They might also be requiring some kind of technical expertise or people who are able to help them, redraw their focus, and then they can get back into productivity. So it's a yes for me. I think it's the way to go.
But also, when we look at the ailing industries, almost everybody agrees that power is a very important factor, and we haven't gotten that right yet in this country. Do we have an industrial policy, and how can we achieve that in the long run?
Well, you must separate power and energy. If you're talking about power, you're talking about bigger picture. And we haven't gotten to that point in our industrial, trajectory where, power becomes very central. So what I'm trying to say that a lot of these companies do what you call valorization. They do, the power needs can be injected into their capital, input. So power, yes, is central, but power is not critical. What I think is critical is source of raw materials and then cost of production. Okay, if you're able to make certain that what you're producing, can be competitive and then is able to meet international standards or what the market out there requires, I think power might just be one of those things you can be able to compute into the mix. So not having power, it is a challenge, but it's not a must-do as a way, because there are other sources of power that can also be applied. I'm just not talking about the national grid. Remember that, yes, you have your generators, you have other power sources like solar and wind, and water-based turbines. So it is critical. Please don't get me wrong. I am not saying that power is not necessary, but I'm saying that in the mix of getting these companies to get back into productivity, power might not be what will stop it. What might stop it will be, one, cost of your labor, two, cost of your raw materials, and then finally the cost of the products that you're going to be bringing onto the market.
All right, Dr. Emeka Okengu, economist and public affairs analyst, it was a pleasure to have you on the program.